Fox 5 Health News, the CDC issued a health alert after the U.S. saw 5 cases of malaria spread by mosquitoes. Those cases were in Florida and Texas.
Joining us now is Dr. Suraj Saggar, Chief of Infectious Diseases at Holy Name. Doctor, thank you so much for joining us. So these cases are the first in 20 years to be acquired locally, meaning that no one who got it traveled outside the country. What does that tell you?
Yeah, so thanks for having me. Normally when we think about malaria, like you alluded to, we think about those that are returning from abroad, usually sub-Saharan Africa or Southeast Asia. Here we have 4 cases in Florida, 1 case in Texas. As of now, it doesn't seem that they're related. A little background, the mosquito that spreads malaria is Anopheles. It is found in the United States. It's unclear if someone went to an area, contracted malaria, came back, and then the mosquito in the United States bit that person and then bit someone else. Or is it related to warmer weather, more rain, climate change, if you will, and if this represents something new that we have to be aware of? The reality is, either way, is that it's exceedingly rare for this to happen in the United States, and people should really be more concerned when they travel abroad of protecting themselves.
But, is the fear that if we see 5 cases in Florida and Texas, that it's only a matter of time until we see them here, or is that not the deal, do you think?
Well, I think it's something we wait and warrants wakeful watching and careful observation. I think what's much more important as COVID-19 restrictions have lifted, people are obviously traveling extensively this summer, that people, yes, will likely come back if they travel to the Caribbean, they travel to sub-Saharan Africa, Southeast Asia, even South America, that people will come back with malaria. The mosquito, again, does live in the Southeast United States. It is not a mosquito that we see here in the Mid-Atlantic or the Northeast, but we do see it in the Gulf Coast. We have had locally transmitted malaria in the past. It was at one time endemic. Thanks to modern medicine, we no longer see that. But I think it's something we have to keep in mind. But I think I want to keep it in context. 240 million cases worldwide. 95% are in Africa. 5 cases in the United States is not something people should get worried about. But again, they should take the necessary precautions when they travel abroad.
Yeah. And so let's move to our next topic really quickly. Despite the government's best efforts, a new report finds that the U.S. is being flooded by thousands of illegal vaping devices. More than 9,000 different types of e-cigs have reportedly been sold in the U.S. since 2020. So, Doctor, what do you think is driving all of this? Yeah,
so essentially this is really the market. It's a market that was you can think artificially created in 2020 when the FDA basically cracked down on the cartridge-based e-cigarette. That was after we saw a lot of people developing adverse effects, something we called e-cigarette associated lung injury. And so the loophole that existed, the ban did not apply to disposable cartridges. Also, the FDA does not have the authorization or has not been able to have the manpower to inspect manufacturers abroad. And so what you're seeing now, once you banned the cartridge, the disposal market has really exploded, mainly coming from China, mainly targeting teenagers. So they're coming in all kinds of flavors and clever names. That's really something that we really have to be exceedingly concerned about as physicians, healthcare providers. We really hope that the FDA cracks down on this. We can't forget that this is a tobacco-based nicotine product, highly addictive. And something that really is, since 2020, the FDA really hasn't had the manpower to really check and keep in check this vast rise of disposable cartridges coming mainly from China.
Yeah, it is like a game of whack-a-mole. It really is. All right, Dr. Saggar, we appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.